Imagine telling someone in 2011, when Bitcoin was trading at a dollar, that it could one day surpass $100 million per coin. They'd laugh, definitely dismiss you, or maybe even question your sanity. Yet here we are, after years of watching Bitcoin defy the odds, daring to ask the same audacious question: could Bitcoin really become the most valuable asset the world's ever known? If this sounds far-fetched, stick around, because what once seemed impossible is starting to look like it's destiny. Let's talk about this one. All right, so I wanted to take a quick minute, share some thoughts in reference to just some very large numbers surrounding Bitcoin and where it could possibly go if everything stays on track as far as where it's come from since the original block mine in 2009. So at this current moment, teetering around 100,000 or so, we're nowhere near the real euphoria that's going to come perhaps after the Trump administration creates some type of Bitcoin strategic reserve, or more nation states decide to jump on board so they're not left behind as well. And so what I want to put out there is basically three simple questions. How could Bitcoin grow so exponentially? What factors might drive this meteoric rise? And perhaps most critically, what does this mean for the financial system that we rely upon today? And those are all things worth touching on. But before I do that, for those who might be new, you never know, if you find any value here, as always, hit that thumbs up button to show your support for the channel. And most importantly, we love to hear from you guys, so feel free to drop a comment down below. Definitely want to get your take on this matter. And then if you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, so that you'll never miss when I put out one of these little short quick takes. But simply, can Bitcoin go from $1 to $100 million is the question. And ultimately speaking, at this current moment, because there's an unlimited amount of currency that can be created, why not? And so the trajectory of Bitcoin's value is frankly mind-boggling, in my opinion. So at one, the idea of one was absurd. So when it crossed 1,000, doubters proclaimed that it had peaked. And then at 70,000, people started taking it seriously. But reaching 100 million, that requires a complete paradigm shift in how we think about value itself. So to understand this, let's consider gold. So Bitcoin already surpassed the total market cap of silver during its 2021 bull run. So next up will be gold, which is an asset value globally at around 12 to 13 trillion or so at this current moment. So if Bitcoin surpasses gold market cap, it would have to trade at over $800,000 per coin. So that's step one on the ladder. But here's where things get even wild. Bitcoin isn't just about competing with gold, it's competing with every other store of value on the earth as well. So you got real estate, stocks, fiat currencies, all these could begin to cascade into Bitcoin as its scarcity becomes more widely understood. So think of it like musical chairs. There's only one chair for every 21 million participants, and as more people join the game, be it individuals, corporations, or even governments, the scramble to secure a seat will drive Bitcoin's price even higher. So the scarcity dynamic isn't theoretical, it's happening right now, with institutions hoarding Bitcoin and ETFs accelerating their accumulation. So let's talk about a seismic event that could trigger Bitcoin's dominance. So you got the gold to Bitcoin flipping, which a lot of people in the crypto space are definitely paying attention to. So you got gold's allure, which lies in its historical significance as a safe haven, but Bitcoin offers something gold never could: digital portability, verifiable scarcity, and near immunity when it comes to tampering. So when Bitcoin reaches valuation equal to gold's market cap, it'll make the headlines. And those headlines will trigger a wave of FOMO among investors. So picture this: people watching Bitcoin outperform their traditional assets year after year. So eventually they'll capitulate, sell their gold or their real estate or even stocks to secure a comfortable position in Bitcoin. So it's a self-reinforcing cycle, one that economists have already started calling the great asset migration. And then the last and probably the most important of the points I want to touch on right now is the ripple effect on global finance. So now here's the kicker. The rise of Bitcoin doesn't just disrupt asset markets, it rewrites rules of money itself. So if Bitcoin price rises, its role as a global reserve asset becomes even more viable. So central banks, corporations, and even entire nation states are already starting to frame a narrative around the reason why they can't miss out or be the last one to get involved. Take BlackRock CEO Larry Fink's recent prediction that Bitcoin could surpass the total valuation of US real estate within the next decade. So that's a $50 trillion market. Bitcoin captures even a fraction of that. Just say 1 million per coin isn't just plausible, it's inevitable. So one thing you should consider is what happens when Bitcoin becomes the benchmark. So fiat currencies could see their purchasing power eroded as people move their savings into Bitcoin to escape inflation. So imagine a world where Bitcoin is the primary unit of account and the wealth gap grows not between the rich and the poor, but between those who own Bitcoin and those who don't. And so the question I want to leave you with is, why does all this matter and why you should be paying attention? So if Bitcoin reaches $100 million, even owning 0.01% of Bitcoin could make you a multimillionaire. So that's $1,000 today, potentially turning into 16.7 million or so by the year 2038. And so some of those numbers there are according to a lot of analysts and things that are floating around out there. So the key takeaway here is simple. You don't need to own a whole Bitcoin to benefit from its rise. So this might sound like science fiction, but remember, every great innovation in history, whether it was electricity, the internet, or smartphones, faced skepticism before becoming ubiquitous. But Bitcoin's story is still unfolding, and the next chapter could be the most transformative yet. And so the idea of Bitcoin 100 million seems outrageous at this current moment until you consider where it all started. And let's not forget, over 15 years ago, when the first block was mined, seemed single Bitcoin was around a penny. So it's come a long way since then. So if history has taught us anything, that Bitcoin doesn't care about our disbelief. It's designed to defy expectations and up traditional systems. So the question is, what do you think? Is 100 million Bitcoin a pipe dream, or are we on the cusp of a financial revolution? Just taking a minute, share what's happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem, along with some very large numbers, just to get you thinking about what could be. But then again, it's still early, but it's always good to speculate on what could be coming in the future for those that want to get ahead of the mad dash into Bitcoin. So once again, just taking a minute, share my thoughts. Curious to hear what you think. As always, if you found value, hit that thumbs up button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your price predictions. And other than that, I'll catch you on the next video.